Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
we are into a fresh Monday, and then in our industrial psychology subject today, the class is going to be a bit different one. In the last class, actually, you had a personality test, right?
Yeah, yes,
You
ma'am.
had a personality test, and then that particular the results of those tests I will be posting to you on Wednesday. So it will determine what type of personality is dominating in yours and what has to be done. So it is an hexago concept. So I'll be analyzing your psychology, and then we will be posting about that. In today, in first unit actually, we have completed the first part of the first unit. The second part is actually talking about various thinkers in management and in what way psychological concepts are available in those thinkers. So, the first and foremost person who came with the concept of management was, who's that? Who's father of scientific management? Who is father of
Henry
scientific
Fayol, ma'am.
management?
Henry
Henry
Fayol.
Fayol. No, father of scientific management is F.W. Taylor.
Okay.
It was I who taught you principles of management, right? Okay, we always confuse Fiol with Taylor. Okay, so from today, don't forget Taylor. What you do, pinch your hand now. Pinch yourself. Taylor. So,
Okay.
father of scientific management is the basic thing which everyone should have. Pinch your finger or pinch your hand, and then keep that in your mind that it is going to be Taylor. Okay, the tailor is a person who customizes things, right? So, likewise, Taylor is the father of scientific management. Okay, so this in our there are n number of scientific thinkers. So you remember the previous sessions and all when I talk to you in the class, I always tell you study from those thinkers. So you people should have the habit of studying from those forerunners, because knowingly or unknowingly now we have come to the field of management. Okay, so we have to understand the basic concepts what those people were talking about. When you actually study what they are talking about, you will be knowing to deal with people. As I've told you in the first year, there is one important skill what every level of manager should possess is the interpersonal skills. More than the technical and the conceptual skill, interpersonal skill is needed in the equal proportion by the top, middle, and the bottom managers. So, and the interpersonal skill is a very beautiful skill uh, which is going to help you out in doing work. The beauty is why all people wanted to become managers. The reason is, see, managers, we are not going to invest money in any company, okay? But on behalf of the owner, you are going to run the company. So look at the pride what you have got. Supposing I don't have money, so I can't start up a business, but the owner cannot do everything. A single person or a group of people, the top management cannot do everything. So they are going to delegate their work to us, who are called as the managers who runs the show. So you just imagine that you have got the pride of managing an organization. So when we talk about managing an organization, there are many resources for which you have to manage: the finance, the raw materials, the market, the systems, the technology, and all these things. But out of all these things, all these will be almost within our control. Even money also, we can bring it to our control if we have got good human resources in that organization, because ultimately the marketing, the finance, the systems task are also going to be tackled by the hr only, by any human being of the company. So when you know to deal with these people in an appropriate manner, then you can run the show so beautifully. Um, and that is the most important triad what an uh, manager needs. So when you need to understand the behavior of a person, we need to understand the basic psychology of human beings. So until otherwise you understand that, we will go waste. So when you have got more time, you people actually cannot go and find out how many books are available. If you are a good reader, you can take out books and you can study. But now technology has grown up to such a level that our which what comes in hand to us is the YouTube videos. N number of YouTube videos are available, which is talking about the concepts from these philosophers. So the social media is actually like a fire. If you use it constructively for your learning purpose, then you can mastery the subject. But if you are going to use it for the negative purpose, we always say that it has got only a negative aspect. It's not so. It has got positive aspects more than the negative aspects. It is all left to us to uh, use it, utilize it. So, for to keep the class bit lively and instead of just putting a PPT and finishing it off, it has got a basic concepts, but understanding it in a pictorial way, diagrammatic way is very very important. So, your according to your syllabus, we have to study about uh, uh, the father of scientific management. What did he say? And then we have to study about Fioll's 14 principles, and then we have to study about Havthorne experiments, human relations experiments, and then apart from that, there is one pioneer whom I love very much is Sigmund Freud. You understand Sigmund Freud, then your life will be so good. I could proudly say that Sigmund Freud theory is not only applied to relationship management of people within the organization. This is applied even for the marketing concept. Okay, like a consumer behavior. See, ultimately, you are going to manufacture a commodity and you are going to give it to some person. So we need to understand about the customer's mindset. So this is a pervasive theory. You wanted to deal with your family members. You wanted to deal with your friends. And first of all, you need to understand yourself. Okay, so if I want to understand myself, introspect myself, understand a friend, understand a neighbor, understand a customer, understand all the stakeholders of the organization, I need to understand what is meant by human psychology. So this is a beautiful concept which has come from Sigmund Freud, and I would be showing you the already recorded YouTube videos, which are more of pictorial in nature. So the idea is like if I need to showcase you a YouTube video, there are thousands of videos available, but all the videos are run, and then the hand-picked videos which will be more suitable to your syllabus has been showcased for you here. That is the work what we ultimately do. And apart from this basics, you can go into the other YouTube videos and watch it. You can understand. It's really interesting topic where you should understand about that. Before even going to that, uh, sometimes in cinema also, cinema entertainment, though it is an entertainment media, it is also done by many intellectuals. So what they do is they would have studied all this stuff when they were small. They use all these things and then they put it in simple words and then they talk to us. Okay, uh, you remember there is one song by Kamala Hassan. That song will actually give a bit of resemblance with our Sigmund Freud theory. கடவுள் பாதி மிருகம் பாதி கலந்து செய்த கலவை நான். This is the basics for Sigmund Freud theory. So I would like you to watch this videos. Okay, I will share it. You just tell me whether you are able to see. Okay, give me. Ego and superego. Okay, that is what we have got into our mind as of now. Okay, now so up to this you're okay, right? So there is one person, and then one person is doing some activity, and it is being dominated by three minds what we have. Okay, and that three minds will be like this. You could see now, right? tip of an iceberg? Can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
see? Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
in the tip of the iceberg. You remember Titanic movie? Remember Titanic movie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In Titanic movie, what happens? We will be able to see one particular small iceberg on the top. But what you visualize as an iceberg is not so. It has got some root. It has got a depth. We don't know how big that particular iceberg will be. But what you visualize it on the top of water is not the real volume of the iceberg. You understand, guys? Are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Ma'am.
whatever is being depicted. See, this is very important slide. Whatever is being depicted, whichever is shown to the outside world, is ego, which is dominated by your conscious mind. Okay, what consciously now you are doing? You are sitting and you are listening to the class. That is what the outside world does. Look at the other one, super ego. Super ego is your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind means what happens is, if I ask you to recollect and tell me what did you eat yesterday, you could recollect it from your subconscious mind and you will tell it. So that part, memories, what you got as memories, childhood memories, those is being dominated, which is called a super ego. Okay, so parallelly you would be thinking, no, what is today's food? When will I eat biryani? Yesterday's biryani is available or not? Eknath will be thinking about whether when I am going to get pani puri and all those things. That is what is called a super ego. What is there in your subconscious mind? Okay, but there is one thing which has been unknown to others, which is called as id, which is in the unconscious mind. This is the reason why that in the cinema they said Kadavul Padi Mirugam Padi. He was singing, right? So that is it. So this particular concept, the id is prevailing for every human being. It goes without saying that it is available for any human being. Okay, it is the beast within ourselves. Okay, you have to keep the beast within yourself in control. Okay, the more you keep the beast within yourself in control, you will be behaving like a good human being. But a person who is not able to come out with the behavior of the beast, he will have a complex behavior. But what you have to understand is God has created with all these three components. The way the one controls the other is the uniqueness of that particular individual. You got my point? Are you getting my point? This is the philosophy of any human psychology. This is the philosophy of any human psychology. Are you clear with this? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So now tell me, ego is from where?
Unconscious mind.
Hey, it is unconscious mind, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It is unconscious mind.
So now forget about that. Ego, id-ego, super ego. Now you're thorough with these three words. You're thorough, right? All of you thorough, right? Any yes
ma'am,
or
yes.
no? Yeah. Conscious, unconscious, subconscious. You're thorough with this? Conscious,
Yes, ma'am.
unconscious, subconscious.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So unconscious state போயிட்டான் அப்படி means what? மயக்க அடிச்சிட்டான் மயக்க வந்துருச்சு. Okay, unconscious. He doesn't know what's happening around him. அதான் வந்து unconscious ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Okay. So now we know these 6 words. Now I am going to relate how this is going to work out. Fine. So you have to keep in mind this is the tip of the iceberg. This pictorial representation of understanding the concept is very, very important. That's why I was struggling to show you in this pictorial representation. Okay. Next one is it will keep moving. So what is that you will bring into your mind? Titanic movie, Kadavul Padi Mirugam Padi, then tip of the iceberg. Okay. So now we will start the definition from this. See, it starts with the id. Okay, so id is the reservoir of unconscious psyche energy that strives to satisfy the basic sexual and aggressive drives. Okay, this is where they concentrate on the concentrate in marketing, advertisement and all. Okay, you could see, like it is actually referred to animal. Okay, id means the meaning of id is it, it. So it refers to animal or a thing. It has nothing to do with the human beings. Okay, so this is more dominated by the worldly pleasures, which has been given by God actually. Okay, so it goes on like that. But what happens is when you become cultured, when you are into a particular thing, this is the reason why you could see nowadays you could see, in this so many unwanted happenings in and around. The best example is that Vanita Vijay Kumar, and then that Surya Devi, and many of them started watching it. What actually they were talking nonsense, but then the human curiosity is to go and to look at what's happening with that. Okay, so now comes the ego. Ego is the conscious mind. You got the point, guys? Consciously, what is that I am doing? So I would see, you have to take down this. The conscious, the executive part of the personality that mediates the demand between the id, superego, and the reality. Consciously, what is that you are doing? That is very, very important. Supposing you are going elsewhere, okay. So you will not wear some attire which you wear at home, isn't it? You cannot wear trousers and come to the college. You will say, no, I cannot do that. I have to go with the properly dressed up way, isn't it or not? So your conscious mind says that you have to carry yourself in a proper way. Sometimes with your friends, you may use colloquial language, but you do not do so when you are in a forum, isn't it or not? Now comes the part of superego. Superego is the unconscious state, subconscious state. So it is the past of the personality. So present what you live is the conscious, and the past is the subconscious. Okay, which is called the superego. Now, this superego is one of the prominent domain. We can use it in a very proper way to become a brilliant child. Consciously, the human brain has got only certain capacity, whereas you have something given by God which is called as memory. You can recollect from your memory and you can come out with so many good things in life. That is why we name it as superego. You got the point, guys? So your studies from childhood, from 3 years, you've been studying all these days. So your subconscious mind is being programmed with what is called as superego. You got the point, guys? There is now a fight between the id and the ego. இதுக்கும் ஈகோக்கும் சண்டை வரும். இதுக்கும் ஈகோக்கும் சண்டை வரும்போது சூப்பர் ஈகோ இருக்கு பத்தியா, அது வந்து உனக்கு சொல்லும். So what is that? It is like your தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா மனசாட்சி. It will come and tell, okay, இது தப்பு, இது நீ பண்ணக்கூடாது, நீ இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணினா உனக்கு இந்த கான்சிக்வன்சஸ் உனக்கு வரும், இது வந்து தெரிஞ்சா அசிங்கமாயிடும். So this comes and it will educate you, which is that super ego. அதுக்கு அந்த பேர் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, சூப்பர் ego, which has got in your memory. So all that you have learned from childhood, the values, all comes from that only. Okay, this is the basics. Now the next one goes on. So this is the basics of the personality traits of individuals. Okay, Freud has got to do something with the personality. You depict certain behavior. Behavior comes based on the personality trait. Okay. Note down what is being said. Okay. Your cause of behavior is because of the unconscious mind. Okay. See, this is another important thing. This is another important diagram what you need to have. I wanted all of you to take a pen and a pencil or a notebook, and then you have to note it down. See, conscious level on the top, pre-conscious level. Pre-conscious na subconscious. Pre-conscious level, then unconscious level. Okay, in the previous one, see, look at the level of the sea. எங்க இருக்கு பாரு. Sea level எங்க இருக்கு? Pre-conscious க்கு கீழ இருக்கு. Deep sea. Okay, you're hearing me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So look at this. நம்மளோட thoughts, perceptions, அதெல்லாம் எங்க இருக்குது? Conscious level, you got your thoughts and your perceptions. This is what is called as ego. Conscious level is a ego. நீ பக்கத்துல எழுதிக்கோ. Near to that you write ego. Then pre-conscious ஓட இன்னொரு பேர் என்னது? Subconscious level. Subconsciously என்ன வச்சிருக்கோம் நம்ம? We got memories, stored knowledge. Okay, this is what is called as super ego. Okay, unconscious level. In unconscious level, what and all do you have? All the negative things you will be having there. Immoral urges, violent motives, fears, okay, unacceptable sexual desires, irrational wishes, selfish needs, shameful experiences. So no human being in this world can foresee this. You have to accept that everyone has got all these things. God has created in such a way only. So you never ever expect that, oh, this fellow is a saint, so he will not be like that. It's not so. The important thing what you have to carry today in your home to your house is like you have to understand the programming of people to keep it below the sea level. Okay, below the sea level, in the unconscious state, and without exhibiting it to the outer world. அது வெளியில வராத வரைக்கும் we are in a nice position. But you have to keep in mind that every human being has got such things. It will pop up. So what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to take care of the relationship what you have within people. First thing is you have to control yourself. You have to understand your psychology first of all. Then you have to understand the other person's psychology. Then you have to, sometimes what happens is like we have a very irrational behavior. We always have one thing. இவங்கள பார்த்தாலே பிடிக்கல. I don't know why. I don't like this particular person. So these things and all comes from your unconscious level. Okay. கண்டதே காட்சி கொண்டதே கோலம். And to some people you will like them. They will be the worst on earth, but then you like them. So we don't know, because of that what you call immoral urges, you will have that. Okay, but what happens is your past experiences, your memories is now going to suppress the unconscious level desires, put it down, and then you exhibit only positive things, the thoughts and perceptions, to the outside world. Got my point, guys? So this is how any human being will behave. So what happens is like sometimes in the organization, ma'am, what is it really having to do with HR? So what happens is like supposing you say on the conscious level that drinking alcohol is a sin. You're not supposed to do. Mahatma Gandhi did not do. So no alcohol. So something we have that, and teetotaler, a person should be teetotaler. He should not drink alcohol and all these things. We talk, but it is only theory. Okay, in practice, it is highly impossible. So in companies like there are some multinational corporations, some corporate culture is in such a way it fulfills even the unconscious level desires. Okay, so if there is something in many of the corporates where they give some allowances, which is called as dating allowance. For their culture, it is actually permissible. So okay, give that. But if an Indian guy who comes from a very orthodox South Indian family, if he goes to that corporate culture, what happens there? He goes literally mad. Okay, so that is why we always have something called as cross-cultural training. We have to understand what are the desires of the person who are working with you, and based on that only you have to give. You cannot say that since you have got all these things, you can give it to the other side of the persons also. you have to understand what type of employees you are dealing with, particularly in a multicultural setup. Okay, and likewise, there are some places where you've got smoking zones in companies, and then there are some places where they where they discriminate based on the race. So based on the race, based on the caste, based on the religion. So all these thoughts are coming from the unconscious state, violent motives. Where does the violent motive comes? Killing others just for the sake of religion, abusing someone because of the gender. All these comes from the inner conscious. You got the point, guys. So there are some training modules in organizations. We have got some training modules like sensitivity training. So what is sensitivity training has got? Sensitivity training has got to make yourself realize that you also have this unconscious level where the id is dominated, and then you understand, oh, I have behaved in such a cheap manner in that particular situation, I should never do it again. So they make you understand that your id part is coming out, so you're not supposed to work out in that way. That's the reason why we give sensitivity training. Okay, so when the human resource managers understand all this, the psychology of people, you imagine that you're not going to become an HR manager also, but anyhow you are going to deal with people. So when you're dealing with people, you should understand very clearly that these things are available, and how do you have a control over all this stuff. Okay, have you drawn this diagram and finished it? Hello,
Yes,
guys.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So recollection. See, nearly 40% is unconscious level. Okay. See, look at the look at the pictorial representation, guys. Id is the instinct, it is a devil. Okay, ego is the normal human being. Super ego is the angel. Okay, morality is the angel. So any human being, you, me, no one is being spared. So everyone has got all these three components. The personality structure of an individual is being determined from these three basics only. You got the point?
Yes, ma'am.
That is why we always say that human behavior is complex. The reason is, one time we will be devilish. So now look at this, guys. I wanted to tell you a very important thing. Like our astrologist. See, I'm not very keen on Hinduism or any religion. So I study all religion, and I take in good things from all religion. But there is one thing in the horoscope. When they see the horoscope, they say three things. One is அவங்க என்ன கணம் அப்படின்னு பார்ப்பாங்க. So கணம்ல வந்து they have got மனுஷ கணம், மிருக கணம், தேவ கணம். If you could talk to your parent, horoscope பார்த்திருக்கீங்களா, நான் என்ன கணம் அப்படின்னு கேட்டு பாரு. நீ யார்கிட்டயாவது go and ask your parent if they have their horoscope. I was really when I started studying all these things in my BBA, when I was studying all these things, I was able to relate that to what we have in our in astrology, in Tamil first particularly. Okay, so our people have written all these concepts, but then what happened? It has been recorded as scientific management and scientific thoughts by those people. Sigmund Freud is only a philosopher. Okay, so he has written that and he has given it as a theory, and we people are going and studying that as a theory, because when someone says it's a theory, Supposing you need to get an MBA from a foreign university, you have to go and spend 40 lakh rupees. You will go spend 40 lakhs. Since you are spending 40 lakhs, you will sit and hear to them what is that they are telling. Supposing in your house, your grandmother is sitting and telling, அவன் வந்து தேவகணம், அவன் தேவகணத்துல பிறந்த பையன், அவன் நல்லா தான் வருவான் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோ, நீ என்ன பண்ணுவ? வேற வேலை இல்லை, இது எதுனா உளறினுது, அவன் தேவகணமா, என் தம்பி வந்து மிருக கணமா, அது எப்படி அது? So you will actually comment on the lighter weight. Okay, so whatever is there inhabited in our Indian ethos and systems are being told as scientific theories, okay, by those people. It is actually truth. That is what I am trying to tell you here. What they have, psychology is truth. Psychology is a science. So we have been not told as a science. Scientifically, we didn't have evidences. But the Western thinkers have got scientific evidences. அவங்க வந்து ப்ரூஃப்ஸ், ஃபேக்ட்ஸ், ஃபிகர்ஸோட வச்சுட்டு போயிருக்காங்க, டாக்குமெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. நம்ம ஆளுங்க வந்து அதை பண்ணல. They will simply say, they will not say the reasons for it. சும்மா சொல்லிட்டு போயிடுவாங்க, இது மட்டும் தான் அப்படின்னு. அது வந்து ஒரு குருட்டு போக்கா, மேம்போக்கா சொல்லிடுவாங்க. So it becomes a belief. So many of us do not actually believe that, isn't it or not? We don't look into the horoscope and all those stuff. But then when it is being told that it is a science and the numerical calculation of the science is being given, then we will accept it. The science ஆ சொல்லிருக்கணும், நம்ம வந்து அதை வந்து ஒரு ரிச்சுவலா சொல்லிட்டு போயிட்டோம். ஓகே, so you have to state that as structure of personality. Okay, see, now it is the biological personality of an individual. Okay, so you have to take down all these things. See, here is one word called as impulsive. If in marketing there is something called as impulse buying behavior. Have you heard about it? In marketing you will study impulse buying behavior. Impulse buying behavior means you will go to a shop. Okay, I think all of you would have experienced it. Even I have experienced it. We go to a shop, we would have planned for something, but we will go there and you find something new, and then you recollect some celebrity endorsing it. Okay, so what you do is, without even having a plan or how much money you have in the purse, you give it to them and you buy that thing and come off. Okay, you will feel so happy with that. So it is called as impulse buying behavior. You imagine yourself to be very what you call wealthy enough, or you have done something, because that may not be your basic need also. You would have planned very, very properly in your budget that you are going to spend only 2,000 rupees for your cosmetic items or for your dresses that particular month. But when you go to a shop, you will have some instinct which comes from your Eid part. You go and buy something for 4,000 and you come off. Then after coming off only, you will never understand why you behaved like that, why unnecessarily you went and bought it. Marketing strategies, like particularly online marketing, is actually being built based on this impulse buying behavior only. Okay, so what happens is you keep on going, and then this flash sale and all these things come, so much of discounts are there. So this sort of online marketing, then tracking the customers, that popping up messages. See, supposing if you go and search something, based on your search pattern, the advertisements will pop up for you. So you've been tracked all the time. Where did you go? See, Google tracks you everything. Where are you going? What are you interested into? It creates a pattern for yourself. Each one's pattern is being created, and it gives many pop-up messages asking you to do this or do that. So when it comes to you, when a pop-up message comes, knowingly or unknowingly, you like to do it. Okay, you exhibit that behavior. So this is one thing which all of us should actually understand. So look, the why you need to understand this is extremely entirely unconscious. You are never aware of this. Okay, so that is why we call human behavior is complex. We don't know what sort of this demands are underlying in you. What has happened to you in the past? So this is the reason why when you go to a behavioral problem to a counseling person, they hypnotize you and they find out what is lying in your id, what is lying in your unconscious mind. Okay, like you would have experienced certain things in your life. You would have seen only bad people, bad company. Okay, then what happens? That will be dominating in your unconscious mind. So what happens is sometimes it pops up even after you grow and consciously. Supposing you're sitting in the college, we teach you so many things, So consciously, your mind is accepting that. Yeah, what madam is telling is correct, correct, correct. It goes to your mind, and then certain values, certain beliefs, what you have inherited is the super ego that also comes and dominates. But there is something called as the id part, which is there in your unconscious mind. This pops up, and all these three together confuses and makes the behavior complex. Okay, have you written down? Write everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have finished, tell me, we'll go to the next one.
Finished, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, finished.
Yeah. This actually comes from your triad also. The basic triads are dominated from your gene and the environment from where you are bred into. See, it is more of immediate satisfaction,
ma'am.
immediate demand. Okay. See, we are born with it. It is irrational, and it is about immediate satisfaction. Am I okay? I'm very particular about my immediate demand. Today I should be happy. I am not worried about tomorrow. See, guys, I want to tell one important thing to you. Many of us, many of the uncultured people, what they have in their mind is today is purpose, today is important for me. So today I should be happy. Okay. So I'm not worried about the future. And another important thing, what they have in their mind is until others know about what I have done, I don't have a problem. Okay, so now I'm so happy. I'm undergoing the pleasure. But then if something is going to happen on other day when someone knows about it, then I will manage it somehow. So he takes a chance, when it comes to know to others. Nowadays, people are actually programming this also. They know very well that it is wrong, but they keep on doing it, and with an intention that I will manage when such a situation comes. So this particular attitude, this particular thing which is coming from your Eid part should be controlled, and it should be minimized based on the value system what you have got. Am I right or wrong? Many of you see, take simple things. See, when we talk about Eid and all, don't think this is more of devilish and what you call more of a nonsense stuff. It's not like that. Even the negative components, what comes to you, like procrastination. Like supposing I'm building a value system to you, I'm giving you certain thoughts. What you do is like, oh yeah. So supposing today afternoon I'm giving you an assignment, okay, and I'm telling please do this. After 1:20, what you will do, you will close it. வாடா மேம் அப்படிதான் சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க, ஆனால் மேம் வந்து கேட்க மாட்டாங்க. மேம் வந்து இன்டர்னலில் கை வைக்க மாட்டாங்க. எப்படியாவது போட்டுருவாங்க, டீசன்ட் ஸ்கோர் வந்துடும் நம்மளுக்கு. ரொம்ப வந்து இதெல்லாம் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. அதனால பார்த்துக்கலாம் விடு. இன்னைக்கு ஆஃப்டர்நூன் வந்து என் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வராங்க, நான் நெட்ஃப்ளிக்ஸில் படம் பார்க்கணும், நான் வந்து அப்படி ஊரை சுற்றணும். அப்புறம் ஐ லவ் மியூசிக்கு, ஆர் ஐ லவ் ஈட்டிங், ஆர் ஐ லவ் ஸ்லீப்பிங், ஆர் ஐ love chatting with others. So I'll do my work. Who is going to see me now? When the year end, they will ask for 2 assignments, then 1 test. By hook or crook, the last minute I'll go and study. I will write. So that's not a problem. So what is my today's thing? I will have to now roam about, or I will be chatting. Will you do it or not? Hello, my dear students. Huh? See, I am not talking only about you. I am talking about me also. Okay, supposing now I have got some work to be done, some today's activity. I have got 6-7 activities with me now. I have to finish it before 4 o'clock. Even what I am going to do after the class is over, I'll just go and do some kitchen work and then eat. Then what I will do, slowly I will do. I mean, out of all the 6 works, I may do only 5 works. I may miss out the other one. So I may yield to my energy level. Like supposing I'm feeling very tired. So what I will do, can I have a nap now? So I'll look into that. My eyes are paining. So should I take rest for some time and procrastinate it for the next day? So there are certain drives, like which is there in everyone's mind. So, but what happens is, the moral of the story is, apart from all these things, you push yourself. Your superego comes and says, no, I'm not like that. I'm not childish. I'm not kiddish. I have got desire. Today I have targeted that I have to finish all the 6 tasks. So come what may. If not at 4 o'clock, I'll finish it at 8 o'clock and I'll sleep. No one is going to bother. So I will do that. So what happens? The value system or the belief system comes and contradicts your demands for the immediate satisfaction, and it pushes you to the next level. This is what is called as the personality. Okay, this particular person is very strong. This particular person is very bold. Okay, so all these traits comes out with how you submissive your id part, and you come out with your you use your superego and you depict the ego part. Okay, so all these things comes out. So this is used in many situations in our daily life. So now look at this. Look at the ego. Look at this. Ego. Now this is my consciously what I am doing. Okay, it is very conscious, mostly conscious. It is reasonable. Okay, it is reasonable. So it is a mediator. It is the mediator between the superego and the sun. அது வந்து ஃபுல்லா நெகட்டிவ். இது வந்து சூப்பர் ஈகோ இஸ் ஃபுல் ஆஃப் பாசிட்டிவ். ரொம்ப கடவுள் மாதிரி இருக்க முடியாது, ரொம்ப சேஜ் மாதிரி இருக்க முடியாது. நம்ம புரியுதா? அதுவும் இருக்கும் நம்மளுக்கு. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஏஞ்சல் அளவுக்கு வந்து நம்மளுக்கு குட் குவாலிட்டிஸும் இருக்கும். யூ வில் ஹேவ் சோ மச் ஆஃப் குட் குவாலிட்டிஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ தட் ஆல்சோ யூ வில் ஹேவ். At the same time, you will have this also. So what you do is you have to balance between these two. Okay. It is very rational decision making. It comes into reality. So we will be looking at the etiquette, morals. Okay. See, actually, how do you manage the eat part? There is one beautiful strategy called as delayed gratification, which means that something pop-ups to your mind which is negative. What you can do is you can delay it. So once you delay it, யோசிச்சு செய்டா. You will tell your friends, no, மச்சா யோசிச்சு செய்டா, அவசரப்படாத. So delayed gratification. This is one of the important thing what you will have. The thing is, when you postpone, when you are very emotional, the decisions what you make will be actually wrong. So now you are postponing it. When you postpone, I always tell in the class, when you are very happy, don't give promises. Don't give any promises to anyone, because when you are very happy and excited, you promise something which you cannot do. Okay, that it will not be practically possible. Likewise, when you are very sorrowful, okay, don't make any decision. Okay, don't give promise when you are very happy. Don't make any decisions when you are unhappy, when you are in a sorrowful situation. Postpone it. Delayed gratification is one important way of managing or bringing out your good thing. Okay, living a conscious thing. And as I've told you, it is a moderator between these two. Moderating in the sense it will actually bring in the right thing from you. It will moderate. It will actually superimpose the super ego things, and then it will make you to moderate between these two. And this is the place where you demonstrate the behavior. So it is a decision maker whether I will hear to the voice of the devil, or I will hear to the voice of the angel. Okay, then it is very logical, it will have practical implications. Hope you are writing it. This is
Yes,
going
ma'am.
this is going to regulate your thoughts and your behavior. And we will always, do you have any common sense? Are you sensible? The question says that, have you thought about it, consequences of these two? See, the last one is the superego. Actually, there are n number of books. Thousand books are available in this world. 30 நாளில் பணக்காரன் ஆவது எப்படி, பிசினஸ் டைக்கூன் ஆவது எப்படி, how to become a multimillionaire, how to win the hearts of people, how to do this, how to do that. I mean, there are a number of books, positive theories, positive things, and there's many gurus, they talk about many things, right? The basics for all these things is our father, Sigmund Freud. Okay, so he only speaks more about this, he speaks about how we ought to behave. Okay, see, in Bible, Jesus Christ says, "Oru kannathil araindal maru kannathai kaatu." How many of us will do? If someone slaps us, what we will do? Immediately we will slap him back. Okay, otherwise what we do, even if your mother, your father, your family members, nowadays if they are going to say one single word, until otherwise you give them 10 words back, you will not be satisfied. Okay, you never ever have the thing of accepting it. Yeah, okay, I'll do this. This is not my cup of tea. I'll not do that. I'm sorry. So that acceptance level is becoming very, very low nowadays because of the influence of so many factors around us. Okay, but then the positive philosophers, the successful people around the world, so they teach us how you ought to behave, particularly when you are in a position of managing others. You should set it as an example. They, knowingly or unknowingly, there will be some contagious behavior. Emotions are contagious actually. So they will capture yours. So if you're of this particular nature, if you exhibit this sort of good emotions, then that emotions will spread to your subordinates or to your peers. Supposing you yourself do not have all those certain qualities, then how are they going to actually adapt to it? It becomes highly impossible. So that's the reason why your manager should have all these things, where it is called as the socializing skills, dealing with people. Okay, you have to depict all this stuff. You have to learn to certain things, like if we admire Mother Teresa, not for the glamour she had, but for the social service what she did, for the type of what you call the empire she built, Shishu Bhavan. In Kolkata roads, she was a foreigner. Like she didn't come to India to look at the temples. She came to India to take care of the poor and needy people. She used to go and beg for money from the Kolkata streets. So one merchant, what he did was when she went and she asked money for the leprosy people, she showed her hand. He split on her hand. Okay, spitting saliva on the hand. She didn't hesitate at all. She wiped it in her sari and she said, "This I will keep it for me. Whatever you have given now in my hands, I will keep this for me. But again, for the leprosy people, give some money. I have to use it. They have to be saved. For the orphans and for the leprosy people. This is the angel. This is the angelish character what she had. So even all of us, have got all this angelish character, like helping your friends when they are at some problem, giving them a small blood donation, giving them some food, giving them some moral support. All are angelish component. Counseling people, okay, coaching some people. I don't have money, I cannot give that, but if I do this, that is also something which is very angelish. So we have learned no angel investment for starters, startup companies, angel investors. So angel is not going to come from the top on the sky. People are expected to behave like angels. So one of your activities should be like an angel. So you should set up standards. That's what we always say. Like it is not about attitude. We have to have standards. We have to have standards for judgment. See, abruptly plus and abruptly negative doesn't work out in management theory. We need to have some standards for judgment. So we have to fix it up. You should be perfect and you should be civilized. Okay, then the morality principle, what you have got, you should have some unique principles set for yourself. The uniqueness comes. So இவன் வந்து இந்த மாதிரிப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்றதுக்கு you should have some triads. இவன்கிட்ட நம்பி ஒரு வேலையை கொடுக்கலாம், இவன் செஞ்சு முடிப்பான். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி some sort of personality triads you have to earn in your life. It is more of conscience. So this is the last component to emerge actually. It is more of ideals. Actually, I'm going beyond time, but the reason for that is we started a bit late. So I have to cope up and finish it. So we studied in Maslow's theory, right? Self-actualization, self-realization. Okay, it is a drive. See, the conscious will punish the mind actually if it does wrong. We will always say, no, your manasachi and konudo. So which is that manasachi? The conscience. Okay, so it will tell, see, you're doing wrong. And we even use this as a word called karma nowadays, right? So your karma will work out. Don't do this. So we are using different titles, saying that it will come. It is around only. Whatever you do to others, you will get it back. So all these things, the basics for all these things is from the superego concept. See, interactions between ego and superego. What is it? I want to do that now. See, right now I want this. Okay. What is ego? Maybe we can compromise. That is ego. What is superego? It's not right to do that. Okay. If this says, no, I want to do it now, superego says it is not right to do that. Not at all right to do that. Okay. What ego now comes to a situation, maybe we can compromise. So I'll be postponing it. And this personality is actually dynamic in nature. It keeps on changing, it keeps on revolving. You cannot come to a conclusion that one person is actually dominated by superego. It's not like that. All the time, all three pops in. Okay, and we have to arrive at a decision. one important thing which makes you to accept to the super ego part is your education system. Okay, it teaches you a cultured, a civilized person. It's a person who's been taught to get it dominated. Hello. Yeah. See, guys. Supposing you're feeling hungry, you can say. Otherwise, I have got another 7 more minutes. Okay. See here, it is easy to say that you have to control everything and you have to showcase that you are too good. This is not that simple, man. It is not at all simple. See here, ego has got a defense mechanism tied between these two. This intra-psychic conflict will be there between superego and id. Okay, then you get anxiety. Sometimes you go literally mad. Should I do it or not? This fellow is doing, that fellow is doing. See, we always get many quotes nowadays. All these are written from this basic theories only. Right is right, even if nobody is doing it. Wrong is wrong, even if everybody is doing it. Okay, so you should understand ethics means we talk many things, right? Business ethics no. So what is ethics? Ethics also means about this only, this fundamental. What is right and what is wrong. Okay, so you have to distinguish between these two. What is professional ethics? Which is right, which is wrong? See, supposing you are a lawyer, okay, you are going and your client is a murderer. You go and you actually have defense for him. Why? Is it actually ethical? Yes, it is ethical as a lawyer, because a lawyer gets a professional fees and he goes to the court and demonstrates the murderer's side correct points which he has got legally. For example, a girl has murdered a man who was trying to misbehave. So according to our Indian legal system, it is permissible. Okay, so she can be spared from that particular punishment. But if it was a cold-blooded murder, then what happens? He will definitely get punishment. But you are not a lawyer. You are some normal person. Okay, your friend is doing something wrong. You know about it. You are simply a silent spectator. You are sitting quietly and seeing. Then you understand that you are also dominated by this id mind. Okay, the super ego comes when there is a clash between the id and the super ego amongst anyone in this world. When you go and interrupt and you say the good things to him, then you make the super ego to work better. Okay, that's the reason why you have to discuss counseling, mentoring. All these things come from these principles only. So any human being in this world will have all these complex situations. The defense mechanism will be going on. Do not understand, are we going in the right track or not? So this has to be taken care by others. Okay. Okay. Should we stop now?
Okay.
Should we stop now? Okay. So what I suggest you is I want you people. Hello, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, we are going actually out of time, 15 minutes extra. This I have compensated for the delay what happened in the opening up of the YouTube. But then what I suggest you is, do you find it interesting or not, Sigmund Freud?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Different.
It's very interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. see what you should do is like go and actually look at all these videos. Okay, just to put segment fluid YouTube videos, you can see n number of videos available. Okay, today at least 1/2 an hour or 1 hour, watch these videos. This is very basic and beautiful things what you need to learn. Okay, so the next class we will be talking about Have-Thrown experiments and then Fiol and Taylor's principles. Okay, and I will tell you now. You
Okay.
understand why psychology is very important in an industrial setup. You understand now. This is the basic psychological theory. If you go to Department of Psychology or if you go to Education Department, everywhere the board of Sigmund Freud will be standing there. You should understand the personality or the inherent drives of individuals. Only then you can deal with people. Okay, so with this I will stop. Everyone is present, right? 11 on 11.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Okay, ma. Thank you, all of you. Meet you next class tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.